And we're live.
Finally!
Finally. Hello, Legend Players. There's Reed here. Welcome back to some more Just Chatting with Legend. And today I'm being joined by my good friend Landon, otherwise known as Neo Genesis.
Finally get to crack this open.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Today we're finally going to be, well, I've kind of spoiled myself a little bit. We're going to be talking about the most recent marathon reveal, the gameplay reveal, the overview, and some look into the story and lore. And right now, we kind of have a bit of a bet on things. And overall, it's just who's buying who dinner at one of our favorite Asian restaurants. If the game looks good, I ain't paying for shit. If the game looks like shit, some money be leaving my wallet in the nearby future. Let's just say that.
Yeah, I will be the one who's probably not as optimistic about things, but that's just because I've soured on Bungie a little bit.
Everyone sours on Bungie. This is Bungie we're talking about.
Well,
The
you're
areas that,
just way too optimistic.
yeah, I have to be sometimes. Besides, it's Bungie. The areas that Bungie wants to be proficient in are beautiful. Raids, dungeons, that type of shit. The areas in which Bungie isn't proficient in are the areas that everyone shits on. Crucible, fucking Gambit. Honestly, once you told me that this was a extraction shooter game, I sat there's like, so what's that? And you explained it to me, and I sat there's just like, this just sounds like Gambit. Is this what happened to Gambit Team? Did they just kidnap Gambit Team and say you're developing a new fucking video game? Welcome to Marathon?
This is
Did
what
they
they
just
did with this is what they did with competitive, and they took that team and got here. But I don't think this is really Gambit. This is like Fortnite. This is any of those. You go and loot, and then you try to get to the end and get out with all your
That's
shit.
true. That's true.
Can't believe you didn't know what an
Alrighty.
extraction was.
In defense, I haven't really played a lot of them. Like outside of like other extraction games like Repo and Lethal Company, those are examples, but first person shooter like games? Outside of maybe Modern Warfare 3 Zombies and extremely endgame content for the Division, that's it. I haven't really played any other extraction shooter games. And Battle Royales like Apex Legends, but same
All right.
concept, different design.
Mm-hmm.
Any hopes and dreams for the marathon reveal, my friend?
If I'm going to be optimistic about things, I hope to see something just out of left field, something I wasn't ready for, prepared for, something I'm not thinking about. Just take me by surprise, make me want to play this game because I really don't at this point. And
That's
to
fair.
be honest, I've been dodging anything about this game since we said we were going to do this. I've seen thumbnails, but that is it. So like, I really don't know what I'm gonna see.
And as a spoiler for the audience, I myself, technically have watched the live stream when it happened. Problem is I was at work when this happened, so I listened to the live stream. I didn't watch jack shit of it. I think I like got to pull out my phone and look at it for like a good 30 seconds before I slipped it back in my pocket and just started going on about my day. Overall, if I could be my normal positive self, I feel like what I want to say for my hopes for this is I want this to be good. I want the gameplay to be good. I want this to suck me in, but not in a way that makes me say, oh, I have to play this 24/7. No, I want this to just be another PvP game that sounds fun to play with friends. I know it's going to be sweaty. I know it's going to be a pain in the ass at times because it is an extraction shooter. But at the same time, this is Bungie we're talking about. They made Marathon, and then Microsoft saw them and said, "Wow, you did really good. We want you to make a similar game." So they made Halo. And then Bungie said, "Hey, we want to make an MMORPG." And everyone looked at them and said, "No, you make first-person story shooter games. You can't make a fucking MMORPG. That's you've never done anything like that." Then they made Destiny, and Destiny fucking rocked, and it also fucking sucked. So the way I look at it is if they're going to come out here and do the exact same thing they did with Destiny and be like, hey, we want to make an extraction shooter, I'm going to be over here like, okay, knowing your track record, it's going to be awesome, but it's also going to suck. And I pray to God, because like I said earlier, the areas they want to be proficient in are the areas that are absolutely amazing. If you don't make the fucking extraction shooter proficient, I can't even acknowledge your presence anymore, you sick sons of bitches. If the whole premise of the game isn't what you made proficient, what the fuck are you doing then? Add too
They
many
are
textures to the fucking ass.
they are extremely proficient at gunplay as well as pretty good at lore. So those
Eh,
should be their strengths coming through this whole thing. I should be able to notice those two things. Maybe
that is
lore is
true.
going to be a little weak, but
That is true. I do want to make a little heads up. This is only a gameplay reveal. They like from what I remember from the live stream, they have not announced jack shit about a story. They have not told us about a final boss. They have not told us any lore. So I don't know what the story is going to be like. I just know that this is a gameplay reveal. We might get a story reveal later, and even then, I have no idea how this is going to look. Alrighty.
ah,
Okay, swapping over to live.
uh,
Fabulous.
are you controlling it or am I controlling it?
You know what? That's a good point. Discord. I am. Ooh, there we go. I'm watching you, brother.
Okay. Just as a side note, this was captured on PC. Some camera angles and adjusted for the trailer use. Content is subject to change. Internet connection and online multiplayer subscription may be required. Following content says flashing lights patterns, which may impact those sensitive individuals. Alright,
And reveal the reveal trailer.
start it.
Fuck yeah.
Here we go. Ugh.
Death. The end of all things. But the dream is not over. My dream. Yours. Now. Run. Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Huh. Well, I can definitely see the Destiny flair to the gunplay. It felt very much like a Destiny trailer
Kinda, yeah.
in, in that regard.
I tried telling myself,
Seemed,
like, this isn't Destiny. This isn't Destiny.
yeah, it seemed. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to say this well, but it seemed slow, but at the same time very quick, like very fast
Yeah.
paced. I don't know. I don't know. It seems very like I thought before, pastelly, like these weird colors that aren't super normal colors. They're just
Very, very kind of like bioluminescent type environments. Like everything's supposed to be
bioluminescent.
bright, but also at the same time natural enough to the point that you could survive regardless of how dark or bright the environment is.
Yeah,
I
I don't think it's a question to anybody that it is an extraction shooter. It seems very much like that's the point.
I do like its kind of like neon punk vibe of things. Like it's very bright, but I love the fact that it's also like bioorganic robots fighting one another. This is not some sort of like, oh, we have superpowered humans. Now we have people's brains inside robots.
Now, if you see right here, it looks does is there PvE? Like there's PvE portions or is this all PvP?
I would need to double check that. I recall them saying that the environment has obstacles in it. Like from what I remember from the live stream, the environment can fuck you over. There will be rainstorms. There will be mud puddles. There will be obstacles in the environment, including, I'm gonna go on a limb and say, robots that will come out and hunt you down. Now, I do not know if they said that there was gonna be like a single player mode where you could go in by yourself and go up against bots, but I do know for a fact that they said that there was a solo mode. Now, whether that's a solo mode going up against other solos or a solo mode going up against other full match made teams, that is yet to be determined. I pray to God they make a solo mode against other solo teams.
How are they gonna make you want to keep doing it? Because the whole point of an extraction shooter is to get out with as much good shit as you can and power yourself up for the next time. And it says escape will make me God. That is literally in their trailer. So whew, I don't
Okay,
know.
so that is something that I'm very happy you pulled up because from the live stream itself, they actively stated that essentially everything is something you can grind for in this game. Everything. Imagine you go out, you get a contract, because the whole concept is you are a runner. You are an artificial intelligence. You are a human being that was shoved into this artificial nano frame body, whatever the hell you want to call it, and then you're sent down to Tau Ceti to recover artifacts. The artifacts could be anything. They could be guns, they could be grenades, backpacks capable of helping you carry more shit. It can also be stuff for your weapons, like artifact perks and weapon mods. So imagine the RNG on Destiny, except being told, oh yeah, here's your bounty. It has, now, this is off the top of my head. I don't know anything about the actual bounty system being like, oh yeah, the bounty system will be like, oh yeah, this is a guaranteed shotgun bounty. Now, what shotgun you'll get, you don't know. But go down to Tau Ceti, come over here, research this area, boom. You've completed your bounty. Even if you die, you still completed the quest. Now, if you
Mhm.
capture any loot, then you should extract and keep that loot. Artifacts could be anything. Artifacts can be the randomized rolls for your weapons, like in Destiny 2. They could be the grenades that you get to use, the abilities that the hero can use as well. Now, I probably need to rewatch the stream myself, but the way I gathered, it felt like each and every individual hero, because this is a hero shooter, each and every hero kind of has their own abilities and stuff, but they
Yeah.
don't make it permanent to them. Like, as you can see in some of these characters, some of them can put up walls, others can go invisible, some have a scanner or scope
Yep.
environment. Those are kind of permanent to them, but if you find the artifacts out in real life, you can play a different hero and have their abilities. That's kind of what I've gathered. I could
Mm.
very much be wrong, but I kind of have, but they have said like, oh yeah, invisibility is on one character, but you can find artifacts that have invisibility also equally on them. And I'm sitting here as like, that's like being a hunter with a fucking hammer of soul. That's like
Yeah.
being Iron Man with Loki's clone ability. That kind of takes the purpose away from the heroes themselves, especially since I don't know if they have curated guns to them. Kind of
Mhm.
like in Destiny Rising, where certain characters are like, oh yeah, this guy has a heavy grenade launcher with
You
a
can use
bow and a
heavy grenade
sniper.
launchers and scout rifles only, or machine guns and auto rifles, whatever.
Exactly. And I'm saying this is like, okay, so I don't know if certain characters have exclusive weapons to them. But from what I'm gathering, it's just like you can play this character that has these preset loadouts. So if you die, you won't lose the ability to go invisible. But if you play this character that you've added the invisibility artifact to, you will lose that. So then you have to go back out there and find it again. And I'm
I
over
am
here like,
curious.
interesting.
I am curious how harsh this is going to be. You didn't try it, but Mecha Break I was telling you about, it was an
Hmm.
open beta not too long ago, and there is an extraction shooter game mode to that. And what they made interesting about that is that there is bots in that too. It's not just all people. And then as well, when you get loot, you can only carry so much in your bag, and you have 3 rockets that you can call in at any time during the match. They come down, you put 3 items on the rocket, and you send it up, and then it's yours. You keep it like it's extracted, it's safe. And
Interesting.
then if you extract at the end, whatever is in your bags, you can hold like 9 or 12 things. I don't remember, but whatever's in your bag, you take with you at the end. But it gets sweaty as fuck at the end. So you want to get your nicest stuff out as soon as possible. So I'm wondering if this is gonna be just like, nope, you get out at the end, whatever you get, you get.
That is true. That is interesting. I couldn't tell you because they focus so much on showing off the gameplay that it feels as if they kind of lacked in the area of explaining the gameplay. Like I said, I don't know if there's going to be a bot only mode, which would be awesome. I don't know if there's going to be a bots inside the environment. Well, no, I know that there will be bots inside the environment. Like I said, the environment will constantly shifting and changing against you, from thunderous rainstorms, snowstorms, earthquakes, to also environments like, hey, you need to infiltrate this security system over here. And you could go there and be like, hey, our scanner just scanned. No one's in the building. We're perfectly fine. But then, beep, 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 you just activated the security system. Now, people not only know where you are, but the system's shutting down. It's locking you out. And now the security bots are in play as well. So now you have to fucking fight the environment just to get your artifact and get out. And the best part is not all the missions are like that. They actively suggested it's like, oh yeah, you can go into these environments with a mission that just says scan over here. So if you wanted to, you could go in with a group, slowly make your way to the point of interest, scan the environment, and get the fuck out. Completing bounties and getting artifacts are two different things. You can get artifacts to increase your character, to get kitted out, and then you can also complete bounties to take back to your faction and also get rewarded from them.
One thing that I found interesting is that I don't see that the environment is too much you can interact with it, like destroyable walls and stuff. But in this clip, things blow up, and then the shielding on the glass windows comes down.
Very
So
much
that
so,
makes
yeah.
me think you can't go through the glass windows after that comes down, but you probably could before then. But I don't know.
I couldn't tell you. I would like to say something similar to that.
Well,
It really is a game of trying to be sneaky as possible and trying to be as smart as possible. They emphasized that. Actually, before I say what I'm about to say, I'd like to go back to what I said about the factions. They also said that if you join up with factions and you're getting low on gear, you could, if you had the resources and materials, you could buy like a loadout package from them, so that way you could still go in with guns if you are getting to the point that you're running out of good gear, or even gear that you're trying to keep in the vault or whatever. They have a vault that you could put gear in. They have a resource system, so that way you can purchase bounties and purchase gear from certain factions. And now I don't know what this gear is going to be entitled to: shotguns, linears, whatever the hell it's going to be, or even small artifacts like the mobile shield, like we just saw in the trailer a second ago. But I
Uh,
am very much interested to be like, okay, so if I want to buy something that won't suck, I can do that and still go up against people that have really good fucking gear. Potentially
you
have a
said
chance at killing them and steal their gear from them.
you said a general pack from your faction, so that doesn't mean that people are just putting gear and guns up for sale, and you pay someone else in game or real money for stuff.
No, I don't believe that. No, they don't have that actually. They don't have a trading system. That would be interesting if they did put a trading system in Marathon.
Well, okay. So you think we've shot through this first trailer pretty well? Want to go to the second one
I think
or
so.
second video? We'll see
This
what price tag they put on this game too. I'm curious
That
about
is
that.
true. I couldn't tell you the price tag, but I will say this. What's its face? They do have a closed beta that you can be randomly selected to go into if you join the Discord server.
Ugh. For the
Yeah,
content.
yeah, for the content. Like day one, I already said this was like, what's the fucking server? Like, apparently, once they announced the Discord server, you can join the closed alpha, which I don't recall when. It was either going to be sometime later this month or sometime next month.
Mm.
And the instant they did that, apparently Discord fucking crashed. Like, you could not join that server for like a good 5 minutes because too many people were trying to join up on it.
Okay. You ready for the
Alrighty.
next one?
Yes.
Okie dokie, we're pushing and play, and that went to the wrong spot. Here we go. Oh, that's silent. 1 second. Whoop, whoop.
Now, this will be a
Here we go.
gameplay overview, so this one will actually explain a lot more of the gameplay that's not off the top of my head.
Gameplay. Let's go. It looks like a
Fuck
machine
yeah.
gun. Those are my favorite.
Damn.
And some kind of rocket pack, jetpack thing. Okay, here we go.
They have. They did say they had
breakable
like.
windows.
Oh, nice. They said they had a shit ton of artifacts.
Marathon is a team-based extraction shooter set around the mysterious and cutthroat world of Tau Ceti 4. You are a runner, a cybernetic mercenary who's given up their human form for a biosynthetic shell with unique abilities and stats, capable of both tactical and fast-paced combat. Here you'll fight in a crew of up to 3 players across a variety of zones and points of interest. You'll face rival runners in zones of up to 18 players, countless security forces, and otherworldly threats. To scavenge the remains of a lost colony for glory and fortune. The environments of Tau Ceti 4 are filled with weapons, materials, and equipment you can scavenge throughout the map. Before deploying, you'll strategically build your loadout and select a runner to ensure you're equipped for the run ahead. Your objective is simple. Get in, gather as much loot as you can, and make it out alive. Die, and all your gear will be up for grabs. Survive, and your loot can be taken into future runs as you grow in power and fill your vault. Death is inevitable, but it's never the end. Think quickly on your feet and outplay your opponents. And in your next run, you and your teammates will be the ones coming out on top. And even if you're down on your luck, factions can sponsor you with a fresh loadout, so you can get right back into the fight. Bungie brings its best-in-class first-person multiplayer action to the forefront. Dynamic and tactile gunplay, runners with unique playstyles, and customizable
Oh, you gotta finish them when they're down.
create highly dynamic and strategic team fights. Whether you're on a zero-to-hero run or high-rolling with powerful gear, you'll need to use your best judgment when you decide which fights to pick and how. Because no matter how geared you are, players with skill and strategy will always have the edge. Marathon is designed to be played in crews, with contextual pings, shared objectives, and down but not out.
Well, they can do a
Streamline
ping
playing
system,
with your
just on
friends.
Destiny.
Death is not the end. And if you're the last one standing, you can overcome the odds to revive your teammates and get out with your hard-earned loot. And if you believe your skills alone are enough to conquer any challenge, we give you the freedom to opt out of crew fill to take all the glory for yourself as a solo runner. No 2 runs in Marathon ever play out the same. With dynamic events, variable weather, and unpredictable players, you'll have to adapt on the fly if you want to survive. Each run has a time limit, and anything can happen while you're chasing your objective. Looking to unlock upgrades or increase your faction reputation? Slip into the shadows as Void and ghost past your enemies. Search the map for rare materials and profit opportunities without being discovered. Want to push enemy teams and steal their loot? Bring in Glitch with agility implants and your strongest weapons to disrupt rival crews. Running support for your friends, grab extra equipment, shield charges, and a specialized backpack to be the lifeline they need. You're always free to experiment with team compositions, and the only limit to how you want to play your runner is your loot and imagination. Endgame challenges, ranked play, discovering secrets, seasonal storytelling, community events, and more all await you in Season 1, where you and your friends will start to unravel the mysteries of Tau Ceti 4. Remember, you're only ever one run away from your next big score.
don't know if I have a lot to say about anything that I saw there. It seemed all very normal. I
Yeah.
guess the graphics, if anything, seemed kind of bland. Like, seemed just not next
Just
genny.
yeah, kind of just felt like Destiny 2, but a different environment, different world.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
say I do like the fact that they actually just said, "Fuck it." Here's some environmental destruction. Here's environmental uh, reaction timing. You shoot a gun in an area that there shouldn't be guns in. Things will start to shut down. Security bots will come in. You want to set up traps? You can set up landmines and grenades everywhere. Okay, cool, good. You want to go in by yourself? You can. You want to be quiet and just stay invisible? You can. You die and lose your shit? Should you respawn? Someone can help you respawn. I wouldn't say it's
Yeah.
something new. It feels more like a battle royale, but it does kind of just feel like a battle royale with the sole purpose of don't kill everyone unless you really just fucking want to. The sole purpose is get in, do your shit, get the fuck out.
Yeah. I'm curious. How the downed system will work. So I don't remember if it was Apex or Apex Mobile. Sorry, I don't care about Apex. But one of the two, when you died, they finally implemented it where you could try again. Your game wasn't over. Like they gave you one chance to respawn and get back to your stuff, and if you died again, then you were done. Like that made it much more approachable for me because I'm just not fast enough for Apex, especially on PC.
Yeah.
Um, so having a little grace and then having the ability to get back into the game was at least a little bit better.
I will say I saw in the gameplay that I think there's a team of 3 that it looked as if they were all the same character, which was Glitch, the one that had kind of that their rainbow trail as they were running away.
Yeah.
And that was actually a question I had because when I first listened to the stream, I sat there like, but wait a minute. Do we have to play the same? Do we have to play different heroes like in Overwatch and in
Hmm.
Marvel Rivals, or can we all be like copycats of one another and just be?
Yeah. That's a 3 stack.
Yeah, just so far they have a total of 6 runners. We will be able to play 4 of the 6 runners when the alpha comes out. After that,
Mm.
all 6 will be available when the game officially spawns in.
Right away, or do you have to unlock any of them?
That is unclear. We don't know so far. Like I said, this was a very gameplay orientated thing, and as we just saw from this, I have no clue about the story mode. They said they were going to have a season 1 with story events and stuff like that, and I'm over here like, cool. Does that mean you have a story mode, or are you going to make the same mistake that what was it? Suicide Squad did, and try to implement its end game into the stories. Like, oh no, it was a cliffhanger. Go play season 1. Don't fucking do that. Please, for the love of God, don't do that. I don't care if you end it off on a cliffhanger and then we'll figure out what happens to that cliffhanger in the next major DLC, but at least give us an ending. At least do something of that. At least give us a story. Because if you're going to give us a game that's exclusively just a multiplayer game mode with background lore, like, what was its face? Black Ops 4, you'll probably do good if the gameplay is genuinely fun to repeat over and over again. But if it's not fun to repeat over and over again and it has no story, you may be at a dead end.
Mm-hmm.
Environment looks good. Characters, the biopunk, the cyberpunk aesthetic to this whole thing feels weird. In first person mode, it looks cool. Seeing the big ass goofy helmets and the boots and skin tight armor just feels so weird. But that does kind of make me go off to my next engine. They said season 1. Does that mean we're going to get a battle pass? And if that's so, what's the battle pass going to include? Is it
Oh,
going
I
to give
almost
us?
guarantee it's going to be a battle pass.
And with that being said, that's just making me sit here and think, is that going to give us loot for the game? Is that going to be loot that we could potentially lose later on? Or is this going to be like a loot blueprint that we could potentially, and hypothetically speaking, like, oh no, I lost my loot. Don't worry, I can just go back to my faction, which has the blueprint, and if I have enough resources, buy the blueprint. Oh no, I don't have enough resources. Fine then, I'll take this shitty loadout that the faction will give me. I'll go in for a quick resource run, stay hidden, get everything that I need, get the fuck out, re-buy the blueprint, and try again. Or is it just going to be focused around heroes that, again, if we could all play the same hero, does it really matter? And if artifacts that can turn us and give us abilities from different heroes, does it fucking matter?
Yeah, good point.
it doesn't really feel hero oriented. It just feels like the heroes are like, here's your favorite skin with its own background and name and lore and all that shit. Anyways, go have fun. But I do like the fact that at least some of them are trying to be different. Some are scanners. The glitch has the arm cannon thing. That kind of looks fun to use. Just throwing it out there. I would love to wave my hand at someone like, I'm friendly, and then my arm just turns to a fucking gun, and I'd be like, no, I'm not. Fuck you. But overall, I just
Yeah.
got, it looks interesting, especially with the fact that there's like, you really are trying to build up your loot. You're trying to build up your kit. I'll say that. It looks interesting, but it really feels like you have to want to play a marathon to be like, yes, marathon, it's great because it's this and it's that and it's whatever.
Yeah, it sounds very sweaty.
Yeah. Well, I guess depending on how you play it. And also, again, if there's a bot mode, they never really explain that. There's bots in the environment, and if you're sneaky, you can stay away from some people, but that doesn't mean that there's a not sweaty environment in there somewhere.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Too early to tell. Too early to know for sure.
Yeah. Like, overall, it just. How do I say it's like I'm cautiously optimistic? Like, that right there, that looks fucking good. Because it's like you're going into what you currently have and your own vault and being like, okay, I have enough of this. I can get a scouter sensor on my gun. I could get I can get armor piercing bullets. I can get a scout. I can get a scope. I can get laser sights. I can make this gun kitted out immediately and then die and lose it all. But I do like the fact that it's not just this game that's like, oh yeah, you died once. Here's all the boring shit that doesn't have anything to do with you.
You see that everything has a number, money,
Oh god,
value amount
you have to.
attached to it.
Oh fuck, you have to purchase
And it
it.
says total value and credits.
Wow, interesting. This feels like it's going to be very reminiscent to Modern Warfare 3 Zombies, but also kind of like more technical about it.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I was expecting to feel more one way or the other way.
Yeah, that's essentially just how this feels for me. Like overall, I'll sit here and I'll say this. Gameplay looks good. Gameplay looks good. Like, I will say this. Bungie looks like they made a really decent extraction shooter. Maybe nothing revolutionary, maybe nothing perfect or amazing, or this is the best extraction shooter to ever come out in 10 years, but it looks like they at least made themselves to be good competition. But
Hopefully
that's
they
just
yeah.
off the... Sorry, you finish, please.
Hopefully they didn't miss the train.
Yeah.
And I kind of seem like extraction shooters were probably hot 5 years ago.
Yeah. But at the same time, this is Bungie. Maybe they'll reignite the fire.
Possibly.
Overall, I feel like I have too many questions, and I'm not going to have the answers until they either A, come out with said answers, or B, we get the answers in the closed alpha. Like, I want to know if there's a single player bot mode. I want to know if there's a story that says, oh yeah, you have to go out to this area, which is, you can run into other players here, but don't worry, once you start doing story events, other players can't interrupt you during those story events.
Would you be happy if there wasn't a story? Like there's just they give background story for the characters, but in the game there's nothing but the gameplay. There's no overarching story to the entire thing.
Yes and no. If I had to pay $50, $60, $70 for a game that has no story and it's just overarching gameplay, I would be pretty pissed. I would be pissed. Only story mode for $70 of a competitive gameplay shooter that I would have to continuously buy the season passes for just to get more heroes, more loots, more cosmetics. That is basically just me spending money to spend money. But if they did what like Halo Infinite did or Marvel Rivals, where there's like, oh yeah, the game's for free, but if you want the story mode and if you want a shit ton of customization, buy the story, buy the main game. Like I don't think in the slightest bit that they're going to make this game for free. But if this game doesn't have a story, I will genuinely be surprised if they're going to be over here like fucking Nintendo and just be like, "Oh yeah, this is our marathon. This is our Bungie exclusive. It's $90."
I will. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying this because it makes me sound ignorant, but at least to me, Apex Legends didn't really have a story mode. You just went in to play the game. I know there was technically lore there somewhere,
Oh yeah.
but it wasn't really there too much without you having to go and look for it.
Oh yeah, true.
And so
That is true.
I wonder if this is going to be the same way.
Bungie says it's an extraction shooter. They secretly make the Destiny 2 battle royale no one asked for.
Mm-hmm. We
The
won't
background
know.
the background lore is this is secretly just Guardians playing video games while Zavala has nothing to tell them to do.
Possibly.
Mm.
Supposedly Meta multi-tools in this game somewhere.
Mm. Like I will at least say this. Like gameplay wise, it looks good. I'm not even gonna doubt them on that. This does look good. And hilariously, from a lot of people from my Destiny 2 clan, they're all kind of saying the same thing. Either it doesn't interest them, but they say it looks good, or it interests them, but they just don't like it. I'm sitting there like, so either way, this is 50-50 for everyone.
Yeah.
And I hate
Yeah.
saying that because gameplay, this looks fun. This does look interesting. This does look like it was well built. I will give them benefit of the doubt on that. This does look good. I have questions, and I want answers, damn it.
Yeah, you're right. It does seem like they're embracing the cyberpunk future thing a little bit. And so if they're doing that, then they really got it. They really got to embrace it and do some stuff that's out of the box and embrace that cyberpunk feel to the abilities and the flavor.
Yeah. Overall, oh, he just broke through the window. Fuck
broke through the
yeah.
window.
It's such a simple concept, yet we haven't fucking seen it before.
Mhm.
Because Bungie is old fucking fashioned. Those bastards. But I do like this, though. The way they talked about how this game was going to go down, it feels like a mix of PvE and PvP. But when it comes to the PvP side, it's not just like, oh yeah, I have the better gun than you. I have the Redrix as a stock. I have the Fellwinter's Lie. No, I have a team that knows what the fuck they're doing. We can outsmart you. You don't have a gun that can two-tap me. You have a gun with a reasonably sized magazine, and so do I. It really feels like that they're trying to hammer the idea that even if they have better gear or loot than you, it's still moderately completable. It's still moderately doable. It's not impossible, and I like that. But I'm also sitting here like, well, okay, well, if everything's fair, then what's the point of actually going in and equipping your guns? What's the actual point of trying to get the best loot for your weapons if everything's supposed to be as close to fair as possible? Sure, you could still mow down people with your highly equipped guns, but if I could just buy a sponsorship package from one of my factions and kill you with my really awesome team, me, Landon, and hypothetical Catherine,
Hmm.
then what the fuck? But yeah, just if they have a solo mode, maybe throw you into an environment filled to the brim with fucking bots.
Yeah,
But
the more I've been looking at this gameplay stuff, I haven't seen really too much of the PvE. The thing I thought was PvE, which was a robot, was I think another player. I think it was just another character.
honestly, is it wrong? I can't tell. They all kind of look the same. They all kind of look blocky and robotic and futuristic enough to the point that I'm just like, I can't tell who's a robot and who's not. But then again, at the same time, they haven't shown us all 6 runners. I only know of a handful.
Yeah, I think I'd say for looking from far away, like looking at the character from 20, 30 feet away, it's hard to tell what character they are. Maybe because the color and the gradient of the light, I don't know, or they just haven't done a good job of making them look separate from one another. I don't know.
I will say it did look like that like certain characters had like shield levels. Like I saw earlier that one of the characters that they were trying to fight had a purple shield on them. I'm saying like, okay, so purple might drop purple loot. Interesting. So that might be this version of a high value target. But then I'm kind of sitting here is like, okay, so is this exclusively supposed to be like a shit ton of PvP aspect, even if it is going up against bots similar to runners, but not exactly runners?
Oh,
Or
and is ammo a limited commodity? Like, do you have to go find ammo? Do you?
that's a good question. I think our mate in the video right now just ran out of ammo.
Hmm.
His mag was blinking red. That's interesting. But I will say this, like I do like at least the fact that this is not only a battle royale, but this is also kind of like their big team battle of things. Because they said a total of 18 players. If they said we can go in teams of 3, then that's at least 6 teams. 6 teams of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon
And
choices
then,
do look fine though.
if it's an extraction shooter, is there anything that is gonna make people need to move to a specific spot on the map, like a storm that's closing in, so you have to keep moving?
That's an even better question. Is it just going to be like, oh yeah, here's the environment, or even then? I have a better question. Sorry, that was rude. I have an equally interesting question. Will there be different environments with different drop rate chances? Will you have to go to an environment that says, oh yeah, you can get a good shotgun drop from over here? Are there PvP specified environments? Because they said that there would be competitive and endgame materials and seasonal shit and even multiplayer dedicated servers. I'm over here like, okay, so does that mean, are they going to do like what they did with Destiny 2 in the Nether? Is there going to be the Nether and then there's going to be the Nether Explorer? Where I can go in and it will guaranteed be me and bots, or will it be guaranteed me and other people that are trying to do explore missions instead of PvP dedicated stuff? I could still run into them, but it's dedicated servers to being like, oh no, you can, but you're mostly just here to steal the artifact and get the fuck out. You're mostly here to do your scans and get the fuck out. You're mostly here to steal the research data or whatever. Is there a purpose to me having to move from one side of the map to the other? Or are there extraction zones, or can I make my own extraction zones? I see what you're trying to get to. That motherfucker pulled out a map.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
looking to
that's
see,
lovely.
is that the whole map? Is that just a small section of the map?
Intercept, USEC incursion, high value target. Interesting. So it kind of feels like it's a different story for everyone. Like, it looks like that the guarded exfil is one area, but for some other team, it might be a different area. Because I feel like that's a horrible mistake if they're going to have 6 teams all have the exact same exfil.
Yeah, that's what makes it intense and interesting.
And then I'm
Although one thing I was thinking is that with other extraction shooters or battle royales, they're on the map. It changes every time, but on the map it shows you what areas of the map have the better loot and are more dangerous, and which areas are safer and have low rarity loot on them. So don't know.
don't know. Just it's very. I like it. I will say this. This looks good. Bravo to you, Bungie. It looks good. The heroes don't really feel individual, but at the same time, that's if you find the loots that can make another hero do the same shit as a different hero. And that's if you don't lose that fucking loot. Outside of that, the heroes don't really feel like they're exemplary enough. I will definitely say, that arm cannon. That fucking arm cannon.
You gotta charge it for a little bit.
I will say that you definitely put your heart and soul into this, and I will say you did a good job. I have too many questions, though, and I feel like I will not get the
Yeah,
answers until the closed alpha.
I would agree. I
Is it
think we have too many questions.
is it different exfils for everyone? Is it one exfil? Because that map showed 2 different exfils. It showed a guarded exfil, which means the team might have to go there, and a bunch of shit of bots might come out,
Kill,
kind of like
yeah,
how Modern Warfare 3 was.
kill enemies. Yeah.
And then they have a crew exfil, and I'm sitting here like, okay, so what does that mean? Does that mean if one's closer? Because it does say you have a limited time frame to go in. So I'm sitting here like, okay, so hypothetically go in, have 5 minutes to kill, get the fuck out, go in, almost run out of time, almost die, everyone survives somehow, leave. And how long are these matches? Are these like 15-minute matches, 20, 30-minute matches? Well, okay, I say that, but I also realize that you can be sneaky and also get in, get out as quickly as you wanted to, or take as long as you want. So
Well, that's all from the creator
yeah,
alpha.
sadly,
Eh.
sadly. Okay, yeah,
Well, we got one thing left.
indeed, and that's kind of their story, kinda. I think I
Kinda.
saw this. I literally clocked out for break as this stream was still going on, and I saw this, and it looked interesting. It wasn't gameplay, but it was more or less just like a cinematic movie.
Okay, you ready?
I would like to go back to that one conversation we had about if there was or was not a story.
Ah, okay.
In your opinion, if there was or was not a story, it no. In your opinion, if there was a story, what would you pay for the game? If there wasn't a story, what would you pay for the game?
I honestly, I think the story matters a lot more to you than to me with this type of game.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
think for me, I was fine with Apex like having lore, but not having to deal with it. So I'm expecting the same thing here, where there's technically lore, but it's not integral to the game. You just do the game.
And there is,
Uh,
they did say there was going to be seasonal stories. I'm just like, okay, that's cool.
Honestly, for an extraction shooter, you get more joy. Well, at least okay. Shouldn't say you. I should say
No.
a
Say
certain
me. You know I
a
like
certain
PvP shit.
a certain type of individual likes to feel accomplishment. And so if you're playing an extraction shooter where you're working very hard to get shit and to keep shit and to extract with shit, and you keep getting stomped into the ground by someone who can turn invisible, there's only so many times you're willing to put yourself through that where it just sours you to the game. And so having to pay $60 for something that you can't, unless you are very blessed and or lucky, or we can hope that every single character in the game is overpowered, because like Marvel Rivals, every single character almost feels overpowered in some
That
way.
is true. There's Marvel
And
Rivals in that matter.
so then it feels good because this feels not right, this doesn't feel fair, but then every character is kind of like that in their own specific way, and so maybe that will be the thing to push it, even if you're losing often and getting frustrated at either your ping going up and you're not able to protect yourself in time and you lose everything. But I just think if it's going to be that type of a harsh game, it's going to be hard for me to justify a $60 price tag. 40 maybe.
Yeah. I feel 40 or 50. Like even Elden Ring Night Rain is like coming out for $40. $50 if you want the digital deluxe edition with the soundtrack and all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so lore, I don't really care, I guess. You're much more of the lore one. I cared about the lore in Destiny after the first game, after like the vanilla campaign of Destiny 1, but not during the vanilla campaign of Destiny 1 because it was so
Okay.
hard to get the lore.
So, that's fair. No, that's fair. But I'm kind of sitting here thinking of the longevity. If it doesn't have a story mode, and sure, seasonal stories will project the game forward, and of course, updates, new weapons, new heroes, new artifacts, and all that stuff. But if the gameplay doesn't entice people, if it doesn't excite people, if it doesn't actually bring people in, what good will seasonal stories do that people are just don't enjoy playing the game? What good will a stomping and grueling experience, like you said earlier, be to people who just don't enjoy that? If you
Well,
pay the price, don't care for the story, don't even do the seasonal stuff, and the gameplay isn't that interesting to you, and it's a very much a losing experience, how do we expect a longevity out of that?
It has to be gameplay. It has to be.
It
It
has to be.
1 million% has to be the gameplay. For some reason, people liked Apex. I haven't heard much about Apex recently, which makes me think it's quite cool. But like, I think people are still playing it, and there was nothing there besides doing the same thing over and over again.
It's true.
So, I mean, they finally put in other game modes, which actually helped me to try it again.
Oh
Because
yeah,
one thing that annoyed me about Apex was that you worked so hard and you shot very little until you've magically found another bunch of people to shoot at, and then it was all over in an instant, and you never got a chance to warm up and get good at your guns. So like the casual match made shooting
the capture the flag areas, the
capture, yeah,
fucking team deathmatch. That's true.
team deathmatch, that helped me actually get a chance to practice with these characters, practice with their abilities in a live scenario with real guns. And
That's true.
yeah,
I did like that. I especially like that they added a bot royale because to me, I'm a huge advocate for every game should have at least a solo option, no matter what the game type is. Even if it's a battle royale, just make it a really massive game against bots. People don't like the concept of going in, grabbing all this cool looking gear, maybe weapons they've never used before, weapons they've never seen, just to die immediately because someone was camping
Mhm.
behind a corner with shotgun. No one wants that. Going up against bots may feel like a cheap win, but at the same time, it's better practice than just not playing the game or losing consistently.
I agree. And that being said, I've talked about this a little bit, but Apex Mobile, I enjoyed immensely, and I was actually very disappointed when it got shut down because there were bots in regular matches, but it was pretty hard to tell. Sometimes it wasn't, and I know some people are going to say you could see that a mile away, but yeah, but it was still fun, and the shooting felt good, and it was just better in my opinion than the regular game.
True that. True that. With that being
Bots are
said,
sprinkled in.
I guess I guess that could be a hope for the game that like they at least be like, hey, if you're going really down on your luck and you aren't having a fun time in a PvP experience, like maybe like I said earlier, they can have an explore option where it's really just PvE specified. There are other runners out there, but maybe they're just it's more curated, so just being a PvE or maybe solo matches where the whole maybe you get less good loot, less high powerful artifacts, but you could still get in and get artifacts.
Yeah, possibly.
Possibly, fuck. Possibly. I don't know anymore. Anyways,
I don't
yeah,
know either.
let's boot up the last trailer. Let's
Okay.
boot up the last thing, and then we can make some final thoughts afterwards. And I don't know, decide who's buying dinner.
Okie dokie. Doop. It's not straight cyberpunk. It's a weird flavor they have chose for.
It really is, yeah. They just looked at the design team and said, "We want you to do what you really want to do." This isn't Destiny. This isn't Halo. This is Marathon. And I feel like that's a oh wow. I feel like that's something I need to remind myself and emphasize upon half the damn time. This is not a Destiny killer. This is not meant to outplay Destiny. This is not supposed to be the next Destiny. This is supposed to be its own thing.
Coincidentally, they might have killed Destiny during the creation of this game, but that's not what they were trying to do.
Oh yeah. It's like Biopunk and Cyberpunk had a child. And as an artist, I kind of dig it.
I'm met a traveler from an antique land who said, two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert.
Why would anyone want their face to look like that?
On the sand,
I don't know.
a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip.
Maybe they're goth or emo?
Come on, tell that
Could be.
soul to well those passions red which yet survive. Stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, lifeless hand that mocked them. And the heart that fed.
This almost kind of looks like content warning. Just like with a shit ton of mods.
Welcome once again. Once again.
Can we please? I mean, it feels just like what it is, right? Like $1 trillion. Like $1 trillion.
Sakaguchi Genetics sent a reminder. Your shell repayment is coming up and will be charged against your line of credit.
Yeah, I know. Do you mind if we skip the formalities this time? Got a big contract waiting down there, so.
Understood. Let's proceed with your grounding exercise. Are you familiar with this item?
That's my lucky charm. Yeah. It's supposed to be my lucky charm.
Now, if it had movement like that in the game, you could backflip into under a vehicle. That would be new.
That would be new. It did have sprinting cooldowns, so
Can you identify
it has
her?
something.
Yeah, that's.
You could slide under most things like that. Get super low to the
Now,
ground on your
consider
belly.
this. Do you recognize this child?
Who are you? I don't know.
It's you.
What? Really?
I will say in the live stream, like the first 2 hours of them was just like a drone being piloted by the Twitch crew, or the Twitch chat, and it had the background music we're listening to right now. And I just gotta say this, as always, Bungie nails the fucking music.
I don't know, but I like it. It speaks to me.
Let me listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
You ever wonder what happened to these people?
I know this is supposed to be spacey, but the environments outside of buildings look a little
It's not for sale.
plain and empty.
Yeah.
A little bit of vegetation.
Man-made environments look genuinely built to be individualistic. Everything else kind of feels way too close to Earth and doesn't feel different. But at the same time, we've only really seen the marsh or the bog or whatever the hell it's called.
Shoot her!
So I think that one's supposed to be glitched, the one that can run fast. The guy we're listening to right now, I think he's Blackbird, and he's the one that can turn invisible. Here's another one with Echo. I think Echo's the one that died earlier with the big equipment strapped to their face. They're kind of like the scanner.
Scanner.
I know a bunch of trailers are always meant to look good, but damn, this... Can they make a marathon movie instead of a game? If this was a movie, I would have watched this forever ago.
Do we know if they just get rebuilt or if they get put in a new body when they die? How does this work?
That's an interesting lore question. I'm assuming same brain, just rebuilt. Kind of like the compilation of the same girl we saw getting rebuilt earlier. Because she was in different bodies with different styles.
Oh, that's true.
And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Ozymandias, King of Kings. Look on my works, ye mighty, and despair.
But that
Nothing beside remain. Nothing beside remain.
that makes me think that there's going to be something of a story.
Decay of that colossal wreck. Round the decay of that boundless wreck. Boundless, alone and level sands stretch far away.
Do you recognize this child?
Oh.
Is that me?
Hmm.
Good trailer. Good trailer. I wish that trailer had potentially some of the same stuff that was in the game, but at the same time, won't know until the alpha comes out. If we could jump over shit and underneath shit, movement system like that, that'd be fucking awesome. That would be fast paced as shit.
I agree.
But at the same time, that's if we run into bad guys.
That would give it some identity. Co-produced by Bungie.
I guess it's like the video.
Oh.
Because I think this is everything saying like, oh yeah, this company made the video, but we asked them to make the video.
Hmm. I don't know. I don't know.
That's kind of the vibe. Either some people hate the gameplay, or some people like the gameplay, but they don't think it's enough to be worthy of buying it. And I'm kind of over here like,
At the moment, that's what I'm kind. That's kind of the road I'm in. Is I don't know if it's necessarily worthy of buying it. I don't think it looks necessarily bad as I thought it would.
oh yeah, I think
But
like
yeah,
I think Bungie genuinely did a good job. I just think they're doing what they normally do, and they're hiding too much shit. They're not telling us enough, and we have too many questions. And in order for us to answer the questions, we gotta buy the fucking game.
you know,
Design looks great. Music, it's Bungie. Music's always gonna be great. A
we
part of
don't
me
know,
feel
so we're gonna have to buy the game. So, but you're saying that Bungie is banking on you still putting enough faith in their brand in order to trust them with your by buying their game. See what it's
yeah.
all about.
Yeah, I'm trying not to hate on Bungie while we watch this and while we talk about this. Sorry. I'm trying not to assess Marathon by hating on Bungie.
These guys get attacked by a bunch of robots, or at least all the same character. One
Oh
or two.
yeah. So that would technically be like the PvE environment,
That's what I
the
would
security
assume.
drones. Damn, so the PvE is similar to PvP. Good to fucking know. I'm just hoping that the players might be dumber than the robots.
Yeah, what if they're Marvel Rivals robots where they insta lock on you?
Brute! He knows where I am at all times!
He shot his alt straight into the air and it hit me. I don't know how.
Landon, I'm scared. Hold me.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda, just... Okay. Initial thoughts right now. For this being a brand new game, and it not being anything supposedly related to Destiny, buildcraft-wise, I feel like this is good because it really just said, "Oh yeah, fuck it, we're gonna have the same bullshit as Destiny with its build crafting, range, accuracy, stability, laser sights, but instead of that being a random chance, you can go out and get that." My only question is like I said, can you go out to different parts of the planet and have different chances? Are there environments dedicated to PvP and environments dedicated to artifact hunting or resource hunting? Like you mentioned earlier, we could evaluate how much our gear was worth. Could I sell my gear to get a different gear that the factions are selling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's the point of the value of our gear that it's worth unless we can do something with that value?
Yeah.
I will say the gameplay looks very much like Bungie, like with shooting
Yeah.
and the character design does not seem like Bungie at all, which is interesting.
Characters don't really feel that individualistic. Maybe I feel like their abilities will be more individual than their character design, but that is kind of fair because I guarantee you they still want to give us the customization Bungie always wants. Like, oh yeah, you're playing this character, but you can make them look however the fuck you want. And I'll probably like give him a thumbs up for that. Just be like, oh yeah, I don't have to make Iron Man look like Iron Man. I can make him look as similar to a different hero as I wanted him to, or some bullshit like that. And I will at least give him some props because straight up right now, uh, the name's leaving my head right now. I'm brain farting. But what was that game that completely fucking flopped? That lasted like a week before they basically just gave everyone refunds.
By Sony?
Yes, the Sony exclusive.
Fucking yeah, no, I'm losing it too. I didn't even. Nope. Nope.
Valorant keeps running into my head, and I know it's not Valorant. Valorant's actually doing somewhat successful for itself.
Yeah, it's been kind of silent too. I'm not in that world, but
Yeah.
I haven't heard anything new about Valorant either.
Fuck, I can't remember the name of it, and that's kind of funny. That's kind of funny.
Sony did a good job of removing it from our memory.
Yeah, fuck, no kidding. They really just said memory erase. Men in Black type bullshit right there.
Yeah, we all know what you're talking about, though.
Yeah. This is gonna bother me, but yeah, I at least want to say, like, even though the characters don't really seem that individualistic, I definitely want to say that character design wise, they at least look different enough that I can identify them and identify what they are. This one's a stealth character, this one's a tracker, this one's a tank, which is a lot better than what said game did. Because I remember a lot of people being like, that big ass bulky character with a machine gun, yeah, that's the medic. That's the medic? But he's big, he's bulky, he has a machine gun. He should be a tank. No, he's a medic.
Yeah.
I want to.
I don't know.
Yeah, like, fuck, damn it, Bungie, we bet dinner on this. Are we just not gonna feed? Fuck you, Bungie.
We're gonna starve.
We're gonna starve.
You ate my last candy bar.
Finland.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a good feeling one way or another. It seems like something I don't want to pay over $40 for. That's all I can say. How forgiving it will be to people that aren't super sweaty is going to be the selling point. Because if it's great for super sweaty people, that's fine. But not your whole market isn't going to be super sweaty people. It can't be. There's not enough of them.
Oh, I just found it. It's Concord.
Concord.
Concord, yeah. Fuck Concord.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyways, as the optimistic person as I am, I gotta say, it looks good. Like gameplay and exclusively just gameplay, you nailed it. It looks good. It looks like you actually built a decent extraction shooter that can hold people's attentions for a little bit. It's fast paced and it's slow paced. You get to play multiple different heroes however you want with any different build however the fuck you want. But I still have questions. And these questions make me worry. Like, if it doesn't have a story mode, that's fine. But then don't ask for an $80 game. because this game looks good. But if I'm only paying for a PvP experience, again, Black Ops 4 with its zombies and multiplayer exclusively, and that was one of the first battle royales that also released too, it's gotta be groundbreaking. This doesn't feel groundbreaking. This doesn't feel like
Right.
something brand fucking new. It looks
That's
good. It doesn't feel amazing.
You have to be able to see longevity in it, which I don't know if I do.
I don't see longevity, but at the same time, to kind of give some benefit of the doubt, this is also only just supposed to be a reveal. This was not supposed to be them announcing, like, so here's what the story's like. But I do like that announcement trailer that they gave us because gotta give props to the voiceover guy who did the back in the day, there was once an old traveler type voice. I thought that was Bill Nighy at first. They announced in the live stream it wasn't Bill Nighy, and I sat there like, that's not the speaker? That dude sounds exactly like the speaker.
His name is Bill. It's not Bill. It's Bill. It's the Flying Dutchman guy.
You're kidding. That's kind of funny.
Oh, I'm not lying.
Hmm.
His name is Bill. It's just I don't remember his last name. Last question: is there going to be fall damage?
Actually, yes. They announced that in the gameplay overview. The
You
20-minute
can kick,
gameplay. The gameplay over. Yeah, if you could fall to your death quite
you can kick
drastically.
or pop someone over an edge and they will die. Okay.
Yes. If you really want to be a dick and just be like, ah, yes, a first-person shooter. I'm gonna punch this motherfucker across the field
Mm-hmm.
like the dick I am. Overall, like, as cautiously as optimistic as I can say, you hit it out of the ballpark when it comes to making an extraction shooter. This looks like a good one. It's different from your previous games, and it's a good difference. This doesn't remind me too much of Destiny, and this doesn't remind me too much of Halo. It actually kind of feels like an odd combination of the both, and I want to give them props for that. But you also haven't announced enough to make me see, oh yeah, I can see this lasting the next 5 years before people are going to get bored of it and want something new like bow and arrows or glaives or a fusion charged shotgun that can turn into a machine gun. You
Well,
crazed bastards.
we don't know how many types of guns there are in the game.
That's true. We've only seen the basics that we are aware of. Like, most
Mhm.
definitely, we've seen machine guns, autos, scouts, shotguns.
Submachine gun, maybe a shotgun.
I think either hand cannons or sidearms, because they definitely had some guns that looked like pistols, but they looked like they had enough ricochet to be a fucking hand cannon. Like some of them looked like fucking Last Word.
Mm-hmm.
But so far for a reveal, this hit it out of the ballpark. This gave me some hope for the game. I think it looks good for an extraction shooter. I just don't know about the longevity because this didn't answer all of my questions. This this still leaves me with some open-ended questions that we'll only find out when the closed beta gets here, which at least the closed beta will be here in a month or so. So it's not like I'm waiting until the game's release in September. I'll give them that much good. I have questions, but I'm not what's the word? I was going to say I am not concerned, but no, that's kind of the exact opposite. I am kind of concerned. I'm not saying there has to be a story, but if there isn't a story, don't be charging so high. And if there is a story, how is your PvP gameplay gonna
If there is a
affect the story?
for
How
longevity, like if you're gonna if
are you gonna have season passes? Are you gonna have major DLCs?
yeah, of course they're gonna have season passes. They
Is
have to. It's
this
the
is
shooter.
well, I mean like Curse of Osiris or like Dark Below season passes, but yeah, Battle Pass too. That works too. Are there gonna
DLC.
be? Yeah, DLC season pass, I guess, or season pass. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I've been awake since 5 a.m.
Might be a good spot to call it then.
Yeah, cautiously optimistic because again, overall looks good, just not enough to make me say I see this being a successor.
Now I
I,
get
s-
to at least watch some other videos and see what other people are saying that have actually played it so far.
I guess I'll be more excited for the closed alpha, and if I get access to it, yay. If I don't, I'll cry.
I'll just cry, Bungie. You've done this to me too many times. I didn't get Destiny Rising. I didn't get the Destiny 2 beta. I didn't get this beta. Fuck off with you. I'll just cry in a hole.
Destiny Rising was pretty solid for a mobile game.
Shut the fuck up. Everyone I knew got their damn beta.
Hmm.
Alrighty. Not bad, though.
All right. Well, thank you for putting this together.
Yeah, no, this is definitely fun. Oh, I'll say cautiously optimistic, cautiously neutral, cautiously neutral. How do we? How do you put that on it?
You're neutral to high. I'm neutral to low, probably.
Yeah,
I'm not dismantling the game yet. I'm not necessarily saying it's gonna die and looks like shit, but
it
we'll
looks
see.
fun, but
Too many questions.
it looks fun, but I feel like it's gonna last a year before people is like, okay, are we getting new heroes? Are we getting new maps? Are we leaving Tau Ceti 4 to Tau Ceti 5? What the fuck's happening here?
New
Too many.
guns, new planets.
Are we getting a boomstick? Are we gonna strap some C4 to the end of a stick and pray to God I don't die?
Are we getting vehicles?
Oh, that would be fucking sick.
Creatures that'll be our pets?
Dinosaurs? There was that pink cat in the announcement for the Save the Date trailer. There was the pink cat.
Mm-hmm.
I guess one major hope I have to say I have is that they actually give us a hub world. Maybe not something that like the tower, but I really just don't want them to have, I don't want them for us to have like a main menu that just has like live background footage in the back. Like this guy that just keeps frantically looking around as he has these consistent live cues that say, "Oh yeah, buy something or get out. Welcome to the black market."
You don't want to just sit in the menu until a match starts.
Yes, entirely. Entirely. But yeah, cautiously neutral. The gameplay looks good, but I still have a lot of questions. And if these questions are answered, then I still have more questions afterwards.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And hopefully it has longevity. Otherwise, if they're really just hoping like, oh yeah, we have loyal fans, I don't think it'll have too much long. Yeah.
They burnt all of their goodwill, and Sony is ready to double tap them in the head and absorb.
Yeah.
What's
Oh
left.
my god. I'm a little scared that if Sony does double tap them, like that's fucking it. Their Destiny 1 servers, Destiny 2 servers, Marathon servers dead.
Could be.
Could be. Like, it's just imagine that Marathon's failure causes the death of everything. So yeah, I'm cautiously neutral.
All right. Well, I think that's a good place to call that.
Indeed. Not bad. Not bad. Shall we say goodbye, stream?
Oh, dokie dokie. Goodbye, stream.
Goodbye,
Thanks for putting
stream.
up with us.